We're live.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of our Hawkeye Sports Show. Certainly, everybody knows the show is definitely hosted by Dean. We got Jason here today, and of course myself, Paul or Jack's Florida Hawkeye here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before we get started with today's show, of course, we want to bring up our our other moderator, Terry, and her business, Terry Sensi. You can see the link there at the bottom of the screen. We have it there in the comments to a clickable version. We definitely encourage everyone to check out Terry's Sensi page, check out the products that they offer, including, we've got waxes here. This happens to be one of them. These things are amazing. As you can see in my background, I think you can see I do have some waxes melting, just trying to make my room smell better. Look, again, we talk about this all the time. It's not just the waxes. There's cleaners, there's soaps, there's lotions, there's sugar scrubs. There's just all kinds of amazing products, stuff that either you're buying, someone in your home is buying, someone in your family is buying it. Check out the link. Check out Terry's Sensi page, and support a fellow Hawkeye in their small business, but support yourself. Make your house smell better.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to a special edition of, we are actually going to interview Brian and Kirk Ferentzes this morning and throw out the tough questions for them, and let's see how they get responded. Can we open with let's have an opening statement by each one of you first. I would say, since Kirk is the boss, let's let Kirk go first.
Excellent. So first, let me just welcome everyone in this morning. I just want to say that we had a good bye week. Okay, we really got we put in a lot of good work this week. It was Iowa against Iowa. Okay, and I just want to point out to everyone that we're kind of to the midway point of the season, and we do have three wins already. Okay, and on the injury front, it doesn't look like we're going to get Keegan back. And I did want to say I thought it was a little insensitive of some of the fans that you guys were putting his face on milk cartons. We know where Keegan is. Okay, he's dealing with some Kleenex injuries, is what I'm told. So we know where Keegan is. Okay, he's not lost. Again, we had a good bye week. It came at a good time for us. I think we really needed the time off. I know some people probably think that we probably should have spent that week focusing on Ohio State. That's really not how we do things at Iowa. We're not going to spend an extra week. We're going to get started on Ohio State this week. We just started looking at the film. They're really good. They're really, really good. They like to throw the football. They've got a pretty good quarterback over there. And we know a thing or two about good quarterback play. We see it week in and week out. We see it in practice every day. And so, we're very excited about the challenge. As you know, Columbus is a tough place to play, but we're gonna send our best 22 over there. I'm excited to get our defense out there against that offense, and Torrey Taylor. We expect him to come up huge for us on Saturday. If you're into that kind of gambling thing, that's not really something we look at. We know we're a little bit underdogs this week, okay, but. I expect us to come out and play a good, clean football game, and I believe if we play Hawkeye football, we'll have a good chance to win this week. So, with that, I'll certainly take any questions that you might have. Or did Brian want to make an opening statement?
Sure. I just would like to add that I think our cameras are adding like 50 pounds to us. Just so you know, Dad, your camera's adding about 50 pounds, but. But yeah, we had a great bye week. We're going to listen to the fans this week. We're not going to change quarterbacks, though. That's one thing we're not going to do. But what we are going to do is we are going to spread the field a little bit, and we're going to try running the ball that way. We're not going to be running the ball up the middle against 8-man fronts anymore with 5 blockers, right? So we're going to spread everybody out. We're going to do 12 personnel. We went over this formation this week. I don't know if you guys could see it. My camera's really small. But we got 12 personnel because we're having issues at wide receiver. So we did a lot of things this week that I know the fans really want us to do. That way we can try to get out of last place on offense. So that's the biggest thing that we worked on all week. But we know there's absolutely zero chance of us getting better by changing a quarterback. Just because you have a quarterback that's last place in the country and every single thing possible, that's not going to help us do anything. We don't want to try that because that's an unknown. We don't believe in unknowns. We know what Spencer can do, so we're going to stick with Spencer. That's my opening statement.
All right.
Thank you,
Brian,
son.
good. Okay, Brian, I got a question for you on your 12 personnel formation. Did you get Dad's approval first, Kirk's approval, before
Yes.
you were? Is he going to allow you to run that this week?
Dad?
Well, so you see, the offense is very complicated, right? And so, really, I leave that up. This is not my offense, okay? This is our offensive core, our offensive staff's offense, right? So, okay, we let the coaches coach here at Iowa, and we're putting out the best 11 players that we have, and we're gonna come out and we're gonna do our best to execute our offense. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
well,
And I would like to say, like, the 12 personnel, the reason why it's 12, if you guys don't know, it's 1 running back, 2 tight end. But we have all these injuries at wide receiver. So we're going to put 2 tight ends out there, but we're going to spread them out as wide receivers. Right? So we're still going to use the 12 personnel, which is 1 running back, 2 tight ends, but they're still going to be spread out like wide receivers. So I don't want everybody thinking 12, that's what we do. Well, no, we're still going to spread them out. We just don't have any dang wide receivers. So we're just going to put them out there.
And this is how you, wait, I do want to, this is how you know that this is Brian's offense, okay? Because if this was Kirk's offense, we'd be running 13 personnel with 3 tight ends.
Right. That's right, Dad.
All right.
Maybe a running back, maybe not.
Now, is this the same offense that you guys ran when you guys took Ohio State to the woodshed back in 2017?
Well, no, not quite. But yes, we had 2 great tight ends back then. But this week we're gonna literally spread them all the way out to open the middle of the field because the fans, they always think we just run right into the defense. So this week we're gonna show the fans that they're wrong because we're gonna spread them all the way out and try to run the ball.
Hey, by the way,
In Ohio State, we had receivers in the slot, and we had 2 really good tight ends that, were all over the place as well, but they didn't line up at wide receiver as much. Sometimes they just split out. But today, or this week against Ohio State, they're going to be 25 yards away from the nearest offensive tackle.
by the way, fans like to go back to that 2017 game, okay? And I understand it because that was a good game for us. But we won 10 games last year, in case you didn't know that, okay? So, and that's running my offense and running Brian's offense. We did that last year, 10 wins, not in 2017, last year.
Okay. It is, Kirk, it is well known that you don't let Brian do his job the way he wants to. He may want to play another quarterback or he might want to run a certain play, but you hold him back and make him play too conservative. Okay, how come you don't do that to Phil Parker, your defensive coordinator? He gets free reign.
I let my coaches coach. I do. I let Brian coach the offense, and certainly I let Phil coach the defense. Now, I mean, final decisions on certain things, they may come on me. Do we go for it on 4th down, or do we put the best punter in the country out there? Well, of course, we're going to put the best punter in the country out there. But we have full faith in Spencer. I have full faith in Brian. I have full faith in Phil, and I believe we put in a good week of work here on the bye week, and so I'm excited to see where this goes. Okay.
All right, Brian, do you agree with his assessment? Do you get free reign?
Heck no, I don't get free reign. I want to run more spreads, but he won't let me. He wants me under center. So he's a fibber. Daddy's a fibber. That's all right.
That's coach speak. Your dad does coach speak.
Well, I do too. I do daddy speak.
Okay, Kirk, here's the problem. We've got people all around us, coaches, teams within our own West Division, firing coaches, firing offensive coordinators. Yet, is it because it's your son that you won't do that? Because I'm going to tell you honestly, after the last couple years, he shouldn't have lasted in this long. Most people would have fired them. So, is it the name keeping you from firing him?
I want to thank you for the question, right? Because that was really well thought out. I've been here at Iowa as the head coach since 1999, and I was here back in the 80s under Hayden Fry. Coaches came and went then. Coaches, I've certainly seen a lot of coaches come and go. My good buddy Joe Paterno, rest his soul, and there's been staff come and go a lot of places. And I just want to say that I'm excited about the new flavor of Bubblicious that has come out. And next question, please.
Okay. All right. What do you think? Now, I don't have a defensive coordinator on here, but what are you going to do to stop the this is for Kirk, the high-powered offense of Ohio State, who put up 40 points a game?
Well, they certainly present a great challenge for us, right? So, they're going to try to stress us high-low. They have guys that can take the top off the defense as well as, they can come underneath. They can also run the ball really well. So that's going to be a big challenge for us all around to try to slow them down. But what I think we're going to try to do is punt more on first down, see if we can, change things up a little bit because punting is winning. And so that's one thing that we have that they don't have. We have Tory Taylor. And so the more Tory Taylor we see on Saturday, that's probably a good thing for us. And that's how we're gonna slow them down is by continually punting the football.
Brian, is it a concern to you that Tory Taylor leads the nation in number of punts and punt yardage? Because really, do you really want your punter punting that much?
Well, when your punter's name is Tory Taylor, no, that's what you want. You want him punting. I mean, who leads the nation in more wins with 8 punts or more in a game? When we punt, we win.
Okay.
So no, I am not worried about that one iota. The only thing I'm worried about, there's one thing I'm worried about is Petrus thinking Regini is running one of these. And he doesn't. He runs one of these. So when Petrus is like looking at him going, I thought you were running one of these, that's what I'm worried about. But I'm not worried about punting.
Yeah. Okay.
Well said, son. I accept that answer. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
So Brian, was that a design play the other day when the Williams, I forget which Williams, would not look back at a pass that was thrown to him? Was that meant for him? And did he not remember that the play was his? Or was it that Reganey was wide open a few feet in front of him and he just overthrew Reganey?
No, it was he was throwing to Gavin. It was Gavin. But Gavin was running his guy off. The play was designed to go to Reganey, and it was wide open. I called a brilliant play. But Petrus just threw it to the wrong person for whatever reason. We went over the film. He's not sure why he did it either. He cussed himself out. You'll see him cussing himself out a lot on game day. And he saw what he did. But no, it was a perfect play call by me. Gavin was running his guy off, and Petrus just read it wrong.
I want to comment on that if I can, because I believe it's important that we put this out. First of all, Spencer gives us the best chance to win. And I want to point out the pinpoint accuracy, of that pass. It hit Gavin right between the numbers, even if it was the back numbers. But it did. The ball got there. It was on time. Okay. And so a lot of our offense revolves around timing. We've got to look, we got to make sure our head is on a swivel and that we're always looking for the football if we're in a position to catch the football. But that play is not on Spencer. Nothing's
okay.
on.
Well, here we go. Brian, in your press conference last week, Chad Lysico asked you what the downside was to not trying another quarterback, and you came back with the question, what's the upside? Now, were you mainly slamming your other quarterbacks, or especially Padilla, by saying what's the upside of playing them, or were you just trying to get clarification on what Chad was asking you?
Well, I didn't really understand the question because we don't believe in playing other quarterbacks. We have one guy that starts the year. That's what summer and fall camp's for. The season is not to try different quarterbacks. We know what we have with Spencer. We don't know what we have with Padilla or the boss. So we're going to stick with Spencer. So I didn't quite understand what his thought process even was. So, what's the upside of trying a different quarterback? In our eyes, that doesn't even make sense because we know what we have. We don't know what we have behind Petras. Petras won the competition during the summer and during the fall. He's been struggling, but he proved that he's our number one guy during the summer in practice. Okay. So changing it right now wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so I didn't quite understand it.
Okay, you got the worst quarterback running the worst offense in the nation. Why not try something else and just to see if something clicks?
Well, what's the upside of that?
First of all, I just want to point out, too, we don't have the worst offense in the country, okay? Okay? We don't. We don't. We do not. That is subjective rankings. We don't really look at that. What we're looking at when we're grading efficiency and things like that is what we see on film and what we see during the week in practice. And what we see during the week in practice is actually very, very good. Spencer is a very good quarterback. But we have a lot of faith in our other guys too. We have faith in Padilla. If we know if he had to come in due to an unforeseen circumstance like an injury or death or the plague, that we trust that Alex could do a good job. But Spencer gives us the best chance to win.
Okay, so rumors have it that Labas is your better quarterback, even better than Padilla. And yet you guys aren't giving him a shot. Is it because he's a first-year guy?
I'll take this.
He's second-year guy. But
yeah. So we see these guys in practice every day, okay? And it's our belief that we are putting the best 11 players out on the field on every play. And so when Spencer's out there, we do believe he gives us the best chance to win. Now that doesn't mean that Joe can't be a good quarterback or Alex isn't a good quarterback. They're just not the best option to help us win on Saturday.
I see.
Unless an injury comes up.
Yeah. You have not, question for both of you, you guys have not failed to replace anybody this year that wasn't doing the job on the field, including the first place kicker that we sent out there. As soon as he missed a game and a field goal in crunch time, you replaced him the very next game. So, let's just face it, Spencer's not producing. So why are we still sticking with him?
What leads you to believe that Spencer's not producing? We have.
I think the numbers speak for itself.
Well, no. In case you forgot, we've won 3 games this year, and we won 10 games last year. Okay, and so Spencer gives us the best chance to win. Brian, do you have anything to add to that?
No, Spencer is the guy. I mean, you can't just keep playing musical chairs with quarterbacks. Offense is extremely hard. And we prove that every week how hard it is to run an offense. So we have to have the guy who knows what he's doing. That Joey he's a redshirt freshman. He's coming off the scout team. He's learning the playbook. And Alex is there for emergency purposes only. Right? He lost the battle in practice over the summer and fall. I don't know how many times I got to say that. Alex lost the battle in practice. So Petras has to be the guy because offense is all about timing. Right? We don't need any backyard football here. We have to stay on time. And when the timing's off, the play's over. Then we just go back and start over. We don't believe in anything breaking tackles and getting outside the pocket. When the timing's off, then the play's over. So we don't need that backyard football crap here.
Even though you are recruiting backyard players. Okay.
I want to point out too, okay, that the defenses that we're playing are of the very top elite defenses. Okay, South Dakota State, one of the elite FCS level defenses. Nevada, I mean, off the charts. Rutgers, amazing defense. Illinois and Michigan are pretty good too. Okay, I don't want to make them. I think when you're talking this way about the offense, what you're really doing is downplaying how good the defenses are that we faced to this point. And we won 10 games last year, in case you forgot. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, there's a question here. Let me get it pulled up. Oh yeah. Kirk, why are we paying a QB consultant if I don't feel like he's doing his job? Or maybe our quarterback isn't capable of listening to what needs to be done.
So when we go back and we look at the film, and we have John looking at the film and Brian looking at the film, and we're all looking at the film together, then we just turn the film off and we focus on what we see in practice every week. And what we see in practice is a well-refined quarterback who plays on time. He plays on schedule. He keeps the offense moving. And so I think John is doing a great job. I think Spencer's doing a great job. Brian's doing a great job. And we're close. We're really, really close to really seeing things start to pop. I expect that you're going to definitely see some real good offense on Saturday.
So, Brian, why not? It appears that because, in practice, Spencer's wearing the red jersey, so he can't be tackled. So that's why, I feel like he probably looks so good in every practice. But if we took the red jersey off in practice and made him get hit, maybe that would toughen him up for a game. What do you think about my idea?
No, we can't afford Spencer to get injured. We have to have him in that red jersey because if he gets hurt, we're screwed because then we got to go to the backup quarterback, and that's not what we do. So we got to keep Spencer upright. He'll figure it out on game day. It'll eventually come to him. He's only a senior, right? So he's got time. He's going to get better. We got 6 more games left this year for sure, right? But I'm planning on 7 or even 8 more games this year. Right. If we can get to that Big Ten championship game. So we can't afford Spencer to get hurt.
Also, okay. I've been here since 1999, okay? And we've every quarterback wears the same red jersey. In fact, I think they're still wearing the same red jerseys from 1999. And so this hasn't been a problem in the past, okay? Whether we're talking about, Kyle McCann, who I thought was a very good quarterback for us, back in the late 90s. And then we got a lot of fans really, really like Nate Chandler. We all thought he was a very good quarterback, okay? And I'm considering having Jason Manson work a little bit more with the quarterbacks because anyway, with the red jersey's not the problem. Let's don't blame my red jerseys. Okay.
All right. So, Brian, have you considered getting more aggressive on offense, taking more chances, doing more tempo?
That's what we're going to do this week. Now, watch
the hell we are.
Watching a lot of game film this week, we learned a lot. Okay. We learned that Spencer's actually better when we go up tempo and he doesn't turn his back to the line of scrimmage, right? So what you're going to see this week is we're going to run 12 personnel, but it's going to be spread out of the shotgun because you could do so many things in this formation, and he's literally going to have to – he's going to get to the line of scrimmage. He does so much better when he gets to the line of scrimmage with 20 seconds left. right? That way he has more time to see. So that's what we're going to do this week. No more.
Actually, Brian, after talking with Phil, we have scratched that idea. Because that will put the defense at a disadvantage. Okay. And so, we're going to go over our game plan this week because we didn't do any game planning last week during the bye. We got some rest. Okay. And we did some recruiting. We were out on the recruiting trail and pizza. We all love pizza. So does anybody want to talk about pizza while we're here?
Kirk, do you like pineapple on your pizza?
Well, see, I'm from Pennsylvania. And the first time I remember the first pizza I had, it was Coach Joe Moore, right? We were eating pizza, and it was good pizza. And thank you.
Brian, another question for you. Last week in your presser, you said that there was several things wrong with the offense, but you couldn't find the root of the problem. Now, isn't that your job to get paid to find the root of the problem? Because it starts somewhere. It doesn't go willy-nilly all over the place.
That sounds personal. That sounds personal. Where are you coming from with this question? No,
I'm just saying that you get paid $900,000 a year. You should know where the root of the problem starts.
That's only $900,000. That's chump change compared to a lot of offensive coordinators across the country. I don't get paid what I'm worth. Look at how many games we've won in the last just 3 years alone. Since I took over, we have never gone backwards in the win column. My first year, we won 8. Second year, we won 9. Third year, we won 10. Then we had COVID, and then we won 10 again. And we still could win 10 more this year. Maybe 11 with a championship. So I deserve my money. But now that that's over with that crazy question, we have a lot of issues, I understand, and we can't identify the one issue, right? We're trying to figure out what the issues are. There's multiple. You can't just blame everything on me or the quarterback. There's other issues. So I understand it's my job to do so, and I'm earning my money because we're going to get this corrected.
I'd like to point out too, that we're trying to find not the root of the problem, but the square root here. Okay, and when we're talking square roots and offense, it's very complicated, right? It's very, very complicated. It takes several years to really get a good grasp of our schemes. And which is why Spencer represents the best chance to win. He's been here almost as long as I have. And he's the only one that really has a good grasp on timing and the square roots and the algebra involved in good offense. Yeah. Good offense, of course, we play complementary football here, okay? And so do we have any questions about Tory Taylor? Because let's talk about Tory Taylor.
No.
Oh.
I think I personally, as a media member, I'm getting tired of saying, and Tory Taylor punts again.
But anyway, that's the best part. Right. That's the cool part. Tory Taylor punting is so exciting that it never gets old.
Wouldn't you agree that it'd be more exciting to start a drive and finish it with 7 points or 6 points in a Drew Stevens 1 point extra point?
Well, then what would Terry Roberts do? He's got to get down there and field Tory Taylor's punt, right? Terry Roberts wouldn't know what to do if he wasn't able to get out there and go get that punt inside the 5-yard line. Then our defense wouldn't know what to do. If our defense had to come off when we kick the ball off, and then they have a chance to return it to like the 30, what would our defense do? We got to have Tory punt it down inside the 10, the 5. That way our defense understands and knows where they are. We don't want.
Wouldn't it be better to keep the defense on the sideline and well rested, and then save Roberts from being injured as being a gunner, and then he could just focus on his defense?
That's blasphemy. You're just talking crazy now.
Yeah, and so commonly the common folk, you peasants, you plebes, we do understand that most people think that the red zone is when you get inside the opponent's 20, 25-yard line. Well, here at Iowa, we do things a little bit different. Okay. When we make the other team start inside their own 10-yard line, that is the red zone because that represents our best chance to score. And so what we're actually looking at when we look at offensive numbers is how many possessions does the other team start inside their own 10-yard line. And as you can see, what we're doing, we're just not turning the ball over at a high enough rate. And we need to execute just a little bit better on defense and special teams because the offense is fine. The offense is fine.
Okay.
And
what are you guys doing to clean up the penalties? Because the penalties have killed drives. There have been drive killers there. And also, penalties have also extended drives. Aka, Iowa State 99-yard touchdown drive. It had not been for penalties on defense, they wouldn't have scored.
So I'll take this one. See, I have my notepad here. I scribble the notes on my notepad every day, every game, every practice. Okay. And I've got a full notebook here. Okay. And that's how we are addressing the penalties. Okay. I'm writing them down.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, okay. Going back to Brian. Well, this one could be for both of you. All right. The fans want to know, so I'm going to ask for the fans because the fans are watching Charlie Jones over at Purdue just rip it, and he's got more personal touchdowns than the entire Iowa squad does this year and more yards. So let's talk about, do you guys not recognize talent, and do you let talent get away like that so easily and not use your talent that you have when you had him?
Would you like me to take this one first, Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
The interviewer screwed up and forgot to pick which one of us to answer.
Oh, that's true. I said you guys. I forgot. Never mind.
Right. So first, I just want to say congratulations to Charlie. Right. He's having a great year over at Purdue. And, sometimes the grass is greener. And it looks like maybe the grass in Ross-Ade Stadium might be just a little greener for him. Okay. They like to throw the football a lot, and so do we. We like to run the ball a lot too, and we like to punt the ball a lot. And they're not really big on punting. And so, but we wish Charlie well. I think we did a good job of finding Charlie and bringing him here to Iowa after you spent some time at Buffalo. Okay, and but we wish Charlie well. And Brian, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, we wish Charlie well, but I mean, we're not going to sit here. First of all, I want to point out that that's Coach Campbell's fault, not mine. Coach Campbell is the wide receivers coach. He did not put Charlie on the depth chart. I only do the quarterbacks now. I don't have anything to do with any of the other positions as far as the depth chart. I can call a play to go to Charlie and say I want Charlie, but I don't deal with the depth chart of the wide receivers. So I want to clarify that's not on me. That's on Coach Campbell, the wide receivers coach. Okay. But yeah, I'm happy. Charlie is, having fun over there. They're throwing him the ball. He has over 100 targets on the year already. We're just not going to do that. We're just not going to throw the ball around just so a wide receiver can have fun. We're about not putting our defense in bad positions. That's what we're about. Purdue is the opposite. Purdue has to score points. We don't have to score points to win games. Our defense scores points to win games. So we just score differently than Purdue, and Charlie is just benefit from that, considering he has 40 more catches than anybody else on his team. I mean, it helps. If I played for my high school quarterback, I'd probably get the ball thrown to me too, and I played center. So that's
I do want to point out as well that, coming out of spring, we evaluate everyone, right? And we had Keegan Johnson evaluated higher, okay, even though we haven't seen him. We had Arlen Bruce graded higher. and you see he's been an integral part of the team this far. Okay. And then, we love Nico. Nico, we think is a fine player. And then, we like Sammy. We like Sammy Laporta. And we like Nick Lachey a lot. And 98 Degrees. We like them all. And we love all the Lachey boys here. And there's only one football, right? And so we also want to run the football here, okay? And so they're just, we wish Charlie the best there. They want to make the offense about him, and Dick Tracy, good for them.
Okay, are you afraid of losing more wide receivers in the transfer portal after this season because the tight ends seem to get all the throws?
Well, no, you just answered your own question. Why would we care about losing wide receivers? We don't need them. We will go 3-4 tight ends if we have to. We have no problem with that. We will play football in a phone booth.
Yeah. I just also, too, is that at times you have split them out like wide receivers this year, your tight ends. What is that telling your wide receiver room?
That they're injured. They need to stop being babies and start playing. That's what it says.
Can't help the club in the tub. The best ability is availability.
Okay, so here I got another hard-hitting question on the wide receivers. Why not use the transfer portal after you lost Tyrone Tracy and Charlie Jones, knowing that Keegan was fully injured? He's been injured since spring. He's
been injured since the bowl game.
That's right.
Yeah, right, because he didn't play the bowl game.
Right.
All right. So what's you named Keegan your best number one wide receiver, and yet he's played maybe 3 or 4 downs total all year in 2 games total.
So I will address this because we
actually 1 game total. I take that back. 1 game total.
We evaluated players in the portal. Okay, we do that. We constantly have someone looking in the portal. If we think there's somebody there that can help us, we will take guys from the portal. Look. We got Coy Cronk in the portal. We brought in a tight end in the portal this year, whom I don't think has seen the field yet, but we brought him in. We believe he can help us out. We brought some other guys in from the portal. Okay. So we do believe that our offense is difficult to learn, and we're not just going to bring a guy in just to bring a guy in. We're, if anything, we could potentially look at the junior college ranks. That's where we find our success. We love getting guys from Iowa Western Community College. Okay. And so that's where I would expect us to look this offseason for help.
Yeah. People don't understand how tough our system is. We can't just bring in anybody off the portal and expect them to learn our offense. Our offense is extremely difficult. And just so you know, my wife actually created a T-shirt, and we'll be having it. It says, Hawkeyes, where the defense is the offense. This is what you don't understand. The defense is the offense in Iowa City. That's what we're going.
Well, now, did she run that through our compliance office, Brian? We'll have to talk about that later. That could be a trademark issue.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, how do you feel about your wife doing that? Because, basically she's saying you're not a good offensive coordinator.
No, I don't take it that way because we win ball games. We won 10 games with this style. The last 2 full seasons, we've won 10 games, and our defense has scored, right? So,
right.
This is winning football.
When the defense doesn't score, you don't win. Iowa State, you didn't score. Illinois, you didn't score. What was the other loss? Michigan. You didn't score.
You just answered your own question. The defense doesn't score, the defense has to score. That's what we do here in Iowa City.
It's complementary football.
Our philosophy. It's complementary football.
And
we scored 13. The defense scores 14.
And if the defense is unable to do their job effectively, then I believe it. As the head coach, it's my responsibility then to sit down with Phil Parker and try to come up with new ways and new schemes. It may be time to do away with the cash position and look at really modernizing the defense. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Did the interviewer even listen to your last comment?
I did. I did.
He didn't have any expression on his face.
Geez, guys. I've ran through all my questions.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good.
This was
I
fun. So this was fun. You insulted me, but this was fun.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm glad we let it present.
As a media member, it is my job to ask the tough questions and maybe insult you a little bit to get it out of you and make you mad enough that you'll give me the truth.
Well, I gave you the truth, but you're not understanding the truth. The defense is our offense. That's what you need to learn.
Okay. So, Quirk, I got another question for you.
Oh, good.
Have you bought your women's basketball tickets for the season? Because Lisa Bluter runs a hell of a program there, and she might be able to teach you a few things about winning and being aggressive.
Well, certainly we love all Hawkeye sports here, and I'm very excited about our Hawkeye basketball team, both of them. Certainly that Caitlin Clark, she's special. She really knows how to score the basketball. Okay. And as far as the season tickets go, I believe you'll have to talk to Mary about that. She may be the one that has those tickets.
By the way, you don't have to buy them. You get a free pass. So I just was testing you to see if you knew that you could show up to the game free anytime you wanted to.
Oh, of course I do. But I do like to financially support all of our sports. That's why I, even though I can't attend any of the games, I do have I have season tickets at all of the sports. My favorite, of course, is wrestling. Absolutely love the wrestling.
Definitely.
They make good football players.
That's
right.
Right.
How come you not recruited any wrestlers lately to play on your football team? Because they do make good offensive and defensive linemen.
We have the best wrestler in the world. Ben Cooter just won the world championships, and that's why he's playing defense. That's where we need him, is on our defense. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
I believe Aaron Graves was a pretty good high school wrestler. Okay, and Logan Jones, I think, also was a high school wrestler. Logan Lee. Okay. And I believe Tristan Wirfs, he was a pretty good wrestler. Okay.
But he's an NFL superstar now, so he's no longer a Hawkeye.
Oh, once you're a Hawkeye, you're always a Hawkeye. Tristan comes back here every offseason and works out. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. This media member is embarrassed that he didn't do his homework on the wrestling recruit.
Well, we had to get back at you for insulting us. So.
That's it.
Okay, guys, that's all I've got. You guys want to make some closing statements here?
No, I'm good. Our defense is gonna score, and we're gonna beat Ohio State.
Yeah, we just want everyone to tune in noon Eastern on Saturday. Big noon kickoff. Okay. I believe the game is on Fox. And I expect you're going to see a lot of offense on Saturday. A lot of points put up on the scoreboard on Saturday. Okay.
All right, guys, let's get back to normalcy here. Let's talk about the weekend that was on football and how poorly some of us did in our picks. None of us had a winning record, but Jason did a little better because I purposely went against the same pick he had intentionally, and it cost me. So now I'm 2 full games behind the young man.
There we go. No, he's still in that interview mode, making excuses. I picked against him on purpose. So
yeah, whatever. Wisconsin let me down.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, nobody in the West is really good except Illinois.
Right. Does it guys surprise you that Illinois is so good already?
No,
That they turned it around this quick?
no, you really do have my shirt on.
Wow,
That's amazing.
When you guys both got those shirts, would it cost you like a 60, $70 for one of those
I'm
polos?
sure. I don't know.
I've had this shirt for 10 years probably. So
Yeah, I mean, this is an old one that I could fit into because this was my heavy days. I got a little heavy back then, so I had to find another heavy day shirt. So
No, I had a polo similar to that, except I couldn't keep the cat fur off of it. We've got two cats, and it just seems unless I'm wearing light colored clothing, I have fur balls all over my clothes. So, all right, so Tennessee beats Alabama, which we all thought that would. No, Paul, you did not. You went for the Crimson Tide. Okay, so
I had my reason.
That happened, and I think everybody in the nation was glad to see Alabama get beat.
Even though I knew I was going to lose it on here, I was actually closet rooting for Tennessee to end the terror, the reign of terror that is Alabama, at least for 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah, Tennessee's my new favorite team to watch with Kansas.
Yeah. Apparently their offense is pretty good because I've been seeing a lot of posts comparing Tennessee's offense to Iowa's offense, and I don't think that was supposed to be a similarity contest.
That's just the silliest thing. That's just ridiculous when people do that.
Yeah. Okay, so Michigan really wipes up the field with Penn State, although Penn State made it close early. Watching Paul's text because I didn't want to watch that game because I didn't really feel that we had any investment in that game anymore. You know, we played one and lost to them, and we don't play the other this year. But apparently I expected that game from Paul's text messages to be a little closer than I saw the final score. So,
yep, Michigan kind of pulled away there toward the end. Certainly in the second half they did, but no, that Michigan absolutely dominated line of scrimmage. And I tell you, I came away more impressed with Iowa's defense after seeing what Michigan did to Penn State. What Michigan's offensive line and I think they might have had close to 400 yards rushing in that game.
They did. They had 361 if I remember right.
Yeah, and so I mean, just the fact that Iowa held them to 20 points through the first 37 minutes of the game or whatever it was.
It's more like 56 minutes of the game.
56 minutes. Okay.
Remember, Iowa, they went for it on fourth down, which gave Michigan that field position, and then Blake Corum, broke that 20-some yarder or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, legit, Iowa had they had their chance to make the game 20-14 with 4th and 2 from the 2-yard or 5-yard line, whatever it was.
Right.
So Iowa played better. I mean, Iowa's offense played 10 times better than Penn State's, right? It's just a reality. People don't like to say it because we're last because we started really slow. But look at the defenses Iowa has played to what they're going to be playing. Think about that. Illinois is a top 10 defense. Michigan's a top 10 defense. I mean,
honestly, Illinois is, according to what I got right here, is number 1 right now.
Yeah. I mean, come on. And we lost that game 9-6. Look what Illinois did to Minnesota.
Yeah. And Wisconsin.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what I'm trying to get through to people. Now, the facts will be the facts when they actually play these teams, right? So, but when you look at everything and start comparing, I mean, it's just the reality is Iowa's offense may not be as terrible by the time they start playing those teams, right?
Well, I think the offense really is bad. Don't get me wrong. But I think that, and not that Iowa fans in any way, shape, or form are not appreciating how good the defense is, but the defense might even be better than what Iowa fans think. I mean, like we know the defense is good. We know the special teams are good. But man, I don't think Iowa fans appreciate how much closer this team is to being 5-1 right now than
6-0.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, or even 6-0. If they can somehow, if Peters just floats that ball out there, and in front of Laporta, he gets in the end zone. At minimum, he gets a first down. They make that game 20-14. Who knows what happens, right?
Right.
But 5-1 should be 5-1.
Yeah. If that's a fumble against Illinois, that was correctly overturned. But if that is a legit fumble, that's an Iowa win. Fumble at the goal line. Iowa State fumble at the goal line. The Terry Roberts slip. Again, these are things where.
Yeah. They're right there. I mean, granted, the offense is bad, but they've been playing really good defenses.
Right. So I think the final 3 games that we had listed here, USC, Utah, Nebraska, Purdue, Wisconsin, Michigan State, all 3 of those games were pretty fun games to watch. If you weren't actually caring about who won, because there was some exciting finishes in those games.
Yeah, I lost the USC game. I know that.
We all did.
Yeah.
And you and I lost the Nebraska Purdue game because we both picked Purdue. And you're the only one that picked Michigan State, so good for you. Michigan State pulls it out at the end in double overtime.
They should have won in regulation.
They should have. That was just poor clock management and a poor use of a timeout.
But okay, let's just go back to that right now. Are you seeing what's going on with Wisconsin? I mean, they're not good at all. They're losing players left and right. They lost their 5-star QB. I want to say he was 5-star. Maybe he's a 4-star. But he's really good. I had him graded really high, and I can't even remember his name. And they just lost another, I think, wide receiver, right?
You mean Mertz? Is Mertz hurt or something?
No.
Oh, you mean on the recruiting
transfer portal? The transfer portal.
Oh, okay.
They're losing their talent to the transfer portal because of what's going on at Wisconsin. That's what Iowa City has to look at, right?
I think they've just lost like a 5-star offensive lineman too, because he's a player or something.
So these guys are kind of pissed that they fired one of the winningest coaches in the Big Ten West, and
they loved him. I mean, look at what the running back said about him. The running back tweeted, "Anybody out there who really thinks Chris should have been fired and thinks like he literally defended Paul Chris. He was pissed. That running back will probably be gone too. Even though he may not be a running back, well, he's proven he can play running back because he was recruited as a linebacker. The only team that wanted him as a running back was Wisconsin.
Are you talking about that guy named Allen?
Yeah.
Allen?
Brian
Allen.
Yeah,
that's just crazy how kind of a running back he's become.
Well, he's huge, right? He's big and fast. But that's what Wisconsin does, right? Every team in the world wanted Ron Dane as a fullback, except Wisconsin. So he went to Wisconsin, and look what happened, right? So, I mean, just I guess take a back seat, and I mean, obviously, if Iowa does finish 3-9, right? Yeah, 3-9. Then we're gonna have to take a look at things because the talent on this roster is not 3-9 worth. But if they move on, if they go on to go 8-4, right, which is very possible, then you got to give them another year because all the talent that they have coming in next year, in my opinion, 80% of the issues are Petrus on offense because you just see all these open receivers. My comparison to all these people who say, well, yeah, the offensive line. I've made video. I watched tape with coaches. We all made video of Petrus having a clean pocket and missing wide open receivers. Look at Nebraska. They have a terrible offensive line. Look at what their quarterback does when he gets time. That's really a thing. He gets the crap kicked out of him, but look what he does when he has time. That's what Petrus needs to do. I had this one dude who was like, what do you think happens to quarterbacks when they're getting hit all the time? Yeah, they get gun shy, right? But guess what? You still have to make the play when there is nobody there. And that's what Nebraska's quarterback does. He makes the play when he has time. You can't just keep playing and be gun shy.
Well, I mean, to be fair on that point, then, if you've got a guy who's now struggling between the ears, right? Now he's gun shy. Now he's, is he now is he the guy that gives you the best chance to win? Then, really? I mean,
right? No, that's what I kind of responded with. And then they started jumping on me, telling me how I don't know what I'm talking about. But whatever. Casey Thompson in Nebraska proves to you what a quarterback should do when he has time, right? You can get your butt kicked all day, but when your line blocks good, you have to take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And that's what Casey Thompson at Nebraska does, and that's what a quarterback has to do. You can't just keep blaming the offensive line when we have all these plays. And the South Dakota State is the one we watched together where I have all these videos. We just watched that one game together. I've watched, obviously, all of them. But there was 12 times where he had a clean pocket, right? He was 11 of 27, right? Is that right? Throwing that day, he was like 11 of 28.
It was bad. It was bad.
And 12 of those times, he had a clean pocket and should have made the throw. And there was wide open receivers the whole game. Like Alex Wick, the walk-on receiver, was wide open. So this is where I'm coming from with this quarterback thing. When people think they just make excuses for Petrus, right? Oh, what's he supposed to do with his offensive line? Well, he's supposed to do what Casey Thompson does. If there wasn't open receivers, then I'd be like, yeah, there's just nothing Petrus can do, right? But there's open receivers, and a lot of plays, it's all over the place. And it's also where he's just making the wrong read. Like you asked me that question earlier as Brian about the Gavin Williams swing route, wheel route. The wheel route, but he had Regini wide open. It was a bad read, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the way they practice it goes to Regini. I don't know what Gavin was thinking, because unless you're literally running a play call to where your job is to run the corner off or whoever's covering you, you got to look back for the ball, right? And he legit didn't turn around. But Petrus had Regini wide open, which tells me that Gavin just said, okay, I'm supposed to run this guy with me, get him out of there so it clears space, right? Mm-hmm. There's just so many things that.
But you still have to, you're running that corner out of there, but don't you still have to look back at the ball to make him think you're going for it?
Well, no, not if he's looking at you. It's eye contact.
Okay.
So what Gavin was doing was looking at the corner. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. That's one of the small things about playing receiver or corner. Is your eye contact. When you're looking at the corner and he's looking at you, like that he's not even looking. That's the back shoulder throw, right? The back shoulder throw. You guys know what I mean by that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The back shoulder throw is you're looking at the corner. You're making sure he stays at you because realistically, if that corner turns around, that's a pick. If he turns around, so you want to maintain eye contact. The corner's looking at you, and you're running, and then you are the one, because obviously you know the play call. You turn around and catch it, and that's what makes that play, like, uncoverable. You legit can't cover that play in man-to-man unless that corner turns around. But when you make eye contact with the corner, it makes the corner look at you as well, right? He's, like, looking at you, watching you, and so you're just making it look like there's nothing happening here. You're just running a route, and all of a sudden you go, right? So there's small things, and that's what Gavin was doing. He was running his guy off. Now, when you're 15 yards downfield, should you turn around? I mean, yeah, because the play should already be – because you got a block, right? Mm-hmm. So the play should have been, they should have went to Regini. I mean, I'm not going to beat it. to beat it to death. But
Right.
there's just
Or
so many small things like that drives me nuts with Petrus. Like,
But the question really becomes, was this a pinpoint accurate pass to Gavin, or was Reganey the intended target, and that was just Spencer's best effort to get it to Nico?
Wait a minute, though. There's another
Good.
option here too on
I
that
don't want-
question.
I don't want-
Was it a pass that was thrown a little short to Williams because the ball, he was waiting for the ball to fly over his head so he could just catch it in front and bring it back to his numbers?
I can't say anything on that because I got to rewatch that play, to be completely honest. Because I don't know if was he being pressured? Like, what made him? Because he did throw it off in the God's country, didn't he?
No, he actually threw it on the numbers to the back numbers, as Paul said earlier.
Did he really hit Gavin with the ball?
Between the 2 and the 5, just not the right one.
We'll have to go back and rewatch that to make sure. But
yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, because that changes a lot it just means he's reading the defense wrong. And this is what I was trying to say earlier before freaking Dad told me I was wrong. The real issue is Spencer. If they really are going to do what Spencer does best, they will run more shotgun. They will get to the line of scrimmage faster, so he has more time to see the defense, because his brain does not process during the very fast, right? Wow. There's so many things that a quarterback has to do. Like, he has to know the play, the primary. If this guy blitzes, this guy's going to be wide open. I don't think he's being taught this type of stuff. But see, all that I'm saying happens like that. It's not, he can't tell himself that. It's just what he has to see, and that's what's got to go through his brain. Right?
We don't understand. We simplified the offense in the offseason, right? So we're not reading the defense. We have a set play. There is a set destination for the football at the start of the play, and that's where the ball is going to go. It doesn't matter who is actually open. It doesn't matter who's running uncovered. If the ball, if the play is designed for Sam, the ball is going to Sam. If he's triple covered, the ball is going to Sam. Because we have a very complicated offense that we simplified in the offseason.
Yeah. Even if if he's triple covered, even if we have an Arlen Bruce over on the other side of the field wide open with a clear path in the end zone.
Yeah, it's just some of those things just rip my soul out. And then I legit don't have a favorite team to watch other than Mike Leach, and he struggled last week. That's why I watched Tennessee, because Tennessee runs my NASCAR offense, but they run it way more sophisticated, obviously. Mm-hmm. Obviously, what they do is amazing. But this is what I want to ask you guys. Do you know one team? Because Iowa fans, they're always, and Paul did it at the beginning of the year, but I never brought it up. It's not illegal for Iowa to have an offense or something like that. Paul said, remember in the very beginning of the year? And fans say it all the time. But can you think of one team in the country besides Georgia? Georgia's my go-to, because Georgia is Iowa with five-star players everywhere, right? That has a top defense and offense. Can you think of one team?
Alabama?
They don't, though. They just gave up 52 points.
Yeah.
And they gave up a bunch of points to another team I can't think of, right?
What about Michigan?
Michigan would be close to Georgia, but after watching Michigan's offense, other than their running game, if anybody can shut down Michigan's run, they're in trouble, right? JJ really does struggle. And Iowa shut them down. But you're right. My goal was Michigan as well, because Ohio State hasn't played anybody to prove they can play defense yet, right? Obviously, Ohio State will score on everybody in the country. But I can't say anything about their defense. They have a better defense than Iowa stats-wise, but they haven't played anybody, right? They legit haven't played anybody with a winning record yet. And Iowa don't even have a winning record. So this week they're not going to play a team with a winning record. So I can't think of one team, because all these teams with a great offense like Tennessee, Kansas, all these teams, they have a they put their defense in such bad positions. Parker would not like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Parker would not like that at all. People think that, well, the defense is on the field the whole game. They're really not. They have their moments, like the Kentucky game, which that was a lot on the defense because they gave up a freaking 3rd and 26 or whatever. So against Kentucky, they couldn't stop Kentucky's between the 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Iowa, and that's what they did with Michigan. They couldn't stop Michigan until they got inside the red zone. And then when everything gets smaller, they stopped them. But I can't think of any team other than Georgia. And Georgia's been playing around with everybody this year. I mean, it's funny when people talk about Georgia, Missouri, and all that, because it was a close game. But that's a legit question in my mind, because there's not one team that I can think of that actually plays defense and offense other than Georgia. But Georgia runs Iowa's game plan, right? They actually run the ball at a higher percentage than Iowa. So, but they have 5-star players everywhere. So
Right.
I mean, that's completely different.
Okay. Well, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's just say for right now, Jason, you're in the lead at 11-7 for the picks. I'm next at 9-9, and Paul's at 7-11. Paul, what are you doing? Getting a big gulp or what?
That's it, man. Slurpees.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll look forward to our regular Friday show, Ohio State preview. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but
I'm going to do my best, fellas, to be on that. If I can't be, I'll definitely let you know, Dean. But I'm going to do my best to be on there.
okay. I hope so.
Yeah.
I did it. I did 2 shows in Iowa. You don't
Oh,
have to
where
bring
you
your laptop. You don't have to bring your laptop. You can use your cell phone, Paul.
Okay.
Where are you going, Paul?
I'm taking a little trip up to God's country. I'll be there this Wednesday through the weekend, and I'll be. I definitely won't be on the Monday morning show because I'll be on a flight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right. So, is there a specific reason for your visit?
no, not exactly. We're just coming up to, just to visit, catch the Iowa-Ohio State game with some friends, and just
Awesome. So
we
take
try to
a
get
drive
back
up.
as we can.
Take a drive up to Northeast Iowa. I understand that this is the weekend for the color show.
That sounds racist, Dean.
The color show. You know, the leaves.
I was kidding.
Okay.
he was joking. He's trying to get us canceled now too. Between you and Dean, I swear.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Friday. Hopefully, Paul. I'm expecting you.
I'll do my best to be on Friday. I know I won't be
All right.
on Monday, but I'll do my best to be on Friday.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I'm ending the
All right,
broadcast. See you guys
All right.
later.
Hi,
See ya.
Terry.
Bye, Terry.
Bye, Terry.